What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me, as always. Bears recap NFL Week 12, Monday Night Football. They get the W 12-10. A lot to break down in a ugly, nasty game. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about Luke Getsey's play calling. We're going to talk about Justin Fields' late turnovers. We're going to overall talk about the W. We're going to talk about DJ Moore being an impact guy. Since he showed up to town, I actually don't think he's getting enough credit for the stuff that he's been doing. A lot to get into. 12-10. They're still top 5 in the draft across the board. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. Victory Tuesday. Let's get to it.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
How we feeling?
Man, how are you feeling?
You know, it's a Victory Tuesday, man. What do you
We
exciting game last night, man.
It actually was. Shout out our guy Eli. He got us to take the Bears money line -115 live. So of course I couldn't help myself. I got a little nibble in and had a good time watching that and sweating that out. I cashed the Justin Fields over 26.5 attempts prop, which was absolutely free. I didn't think they'd be able to run the rock. So that was a big
I should have
key.
taken that. By the time you posted it, I think it was at -140. You had it at -104.
Yeah, I got -105.
It got too expensive for me. I should have taken it, but
yeah, it's a little expensive at that price. I should have hit you with the text before I even gave it out. That was my fault.
I liked the bet. It was just 140.
The logic was there, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, but let's get into it, man. It's a W. I tweeted before the game, a perfect outcome would be Justin Fields plays well, we compete, and take an L. I'm at a similar place as I was last year, where draft capital means more to me than anything else. Is that where you're at, Big Nick the Quick? How do you feel about the game? Because pull up the box score, and coming off of that first drive from Justin Fields, he looked great. The offense looks smooth. It's also a big testament of, it's almost like you can't even judge some of these offenses by the first drive. Yeah. They've been practicing that first drive all week.
The script
is super crispy.
Getsey's excellent at the script.
Yeah, great at the script. Once the script is over, though.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Justin Fields, 27 of 37, 217, 6 yards a pass, took 3 sacks, got out of a couple too, had 12 carries for 59 yards. Bears get the W. DJ Moore, 11 receptions. Cole Kmet, 7. I think Cole Kmet had 6 catches in the first quarter. How'd you feel about the game overall? Josh Dobbs came down to earth. A lot of those picks were tipped. There's still 4 picks on the sheet. How'd you feel about the W? How do you feel about Eberflus in the defense? We can give out some game balls. Do you know TJ Edwards is on pace for 180 tackles?
Yeah, the machine.
He's awesome. How'd you feel about the game? Let's talk the overall W, the game itself. Then we'll talk a little big picture, Justin Fields, draft capital, and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not quite where you're at as far as I want them to lose all the games. I think that they're not good enough to really mess up their draft.
What's wrong with y'all?
Listen, plus holding on. Let's talk about it. Plus holding on to that Panthers pick. I think that's guaranteed to be the number 1 pick based on what's going on in Carolina. They just got rid of their head coach, their quarterbacks coach, and their offensive coordinator 12 games into the season. So I think we're pretty safe with that one. The only reason I say that, like, I'm not rooting for them to lose is I just want to see something. I want to see something that I can take forward with me. I want to see something that, I feel like we can build on. I want to see Fields play well. So if him playing well results in us winning, whatever. If the defense plays well results in us winning, whatever. I'm not going to sit there and at the end of the game be like, oh man, let's not score here. Let's not convert this drive, because ultimately I want to see if he can have a game-winning drive. I want to see if the defense can get big stops. And when you're rooting against that and solely rooting for a draft pick, you don't want to see those things, right? And ultimately, to me, that's what matters. So I want to be able to see them do those things. So it's not like I'm sitting here rooting for the Bears to go 10-7 and be. Well, obviously, I am rooting for them to go 10-7. That'd be amazing. But I'm not rooting for them to go 7-10 or 8-9 and end up with the 20th pick or the 18th pick or whatever it might be. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, I want to see them lose, because ultimately I want to see how they handle late game situations, because that's how you evaluate your quarterback and that's how you evaluate your pieces on defense. So with that being said, how do I look at the game yesterday? Look, man, I don't know how you can. I guess if you want to come away, it's all about evaluating Fields and the defense. Like I said, defensively, I thought the defense has gotten better in the last few weeks, right? We've given Flus a lot of crap about being a defensive head coach with one of the worst defenses in the NFL. As far as forcing turnovers and creating pressure, they have gotten a lot better at that in the last couple of weeks. Montez Sweat looks like he's a good player. Some of these guys in the defensive backfield look like they can make plays. If Jalen Johnson had hands, you'd probably have 3 touchdowns this year.
That boy can't catch, man.
Dropped another for sure. I mean, he dropped. I'm scoring 6 on the one that he dropped yesterday or last night. So I think that they've improved in that area. But man, it's hard to evaluate the quarterback when, of the 37 passes, 15 of them were behind the line of scrimmage, right? And only 2 of them were over 15 yards, with one of those being one of the last plays of the game on the long throw to DJ Moore. So if it takes you 58 minutes to allow your quarterback to throw the ball more than 15 yards, and we're trying to evaluate him in a passing league, like, I don't really know how to. What I can evaluate him on is the absolutely monster fumbles, right? Late in the game in those situations on back-to-back possessions. I can absolutely evaluate him on this. And as much as I love Fields and I want him to be successful, and I feel like I'm almost sensitive to the criticism because I don't feel like he's gotten a fair shake, it's not the coaching staff's fault. It's not Matt Nagy's fault for those fumbles. It's no one else but Justin Fields, especially that second one. You have to protect the football in that situation. And late in the game, he did not. So
hold on to that, because we're going to come back to Fields and just the overall evaluation. But I want to hit on a couple things you laid out about late game drives and evaluation and all that. I need people not to lose sight of the big picture. I understand you want to see the Bears win games, Nick. I understand you want to see Justin Fields go down and make game-winning drives. I believe we can evaluate. The defense is very good right now. One of the best defenses in the NFL. They might be the best run defense in the NFL. When healthy, the guys have been really, really good, actually. So, shout out Eberflus for that. Great. Let's not lose sight of, we do not want Eberflus back as the head coach. Let's not lose sight of, we don't want Eberflus picking any other staff members. Let's not lose sight of, it's about evaluating Justin Fields. I believe we can evaluate Justin Fields without winning games. He can put together throws, drives, spots where we don't win games. Nick, we are in a very, very, very dangerous and similar situation to where we were back with Nagy, where we're going to run off some wins at the end of the season. And next thing you know, Eberflus is going to be the coach again next year. That is not the position I want to be in. I want to lose games because we need Eberflus out. Don't lose sight of that. He is not the coach that's going to lead us to the playoffs in years to come and potentially winning the NFC. That's what we want. Rest of this season needs to be about evaluating Justin Fields, hopefully in losses, getting the highest possible draft pick, because if we're in a spot where we get the number 1 pick, you absolutely – hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself because we're going to come back and talk about that too. We'll talk about what we think we should do with the 1 and 5 or whatever we get. But overall, I'd rather lose games because I need Eberflus out. He is not the guy. Yeah. Period. Point blank. So this whole setting up a winning culture and all that nonsense that you try to preach about, I don't want to.
Who said
I
anything
don't-
about
I don't-
wanting to see them win or
I don't
setting up a
want-
winning culture?
I don't
No one said
want to lose games because I got to see Justin get used to
Didn't say
winning
that.
and all that nonsense.
I said if the game comes down to those moments, I want to see how we handle them. I don't want to see us lose in that situation. Meaning that I want to see if we can excel if the game comes to those.
You know what we should do, Nick?
You're sitting here, and also I'm going to tell you this, man. I know you hate to hear it. I know you hate to hear it, and I still don't think you've come to terms with this yet. I have. Matt Eberflus will most likely be back next year, and I don't think anything that happens is going to change that. If we're being complete, they can't win enough games. It's not going to change that. It's not going to change that. I'm sorry. He's coming back. He'll be back. He will be back. He'll be back.
Why?
He'll be back.
Why?
Everything of how the Bears have handled business over the last however long, if you've been a fan and been watching the team closely, tells you that he'll be back. He'll be back for the same reason that Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy got secret extensions. He'll be back. You know he'll be back. Number one. So let's throw the Eberflus thing off the table right now. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. He'll be back. You're in denial. You're delusional about Matt Eberflus coaching.
No, I'm not. I'm not delusional. I'm not delusional.
They've had every reason to fire him. You could have fired him 100 times this year.
I'm not delusional because
15 straight games.
I'm not delusional because it starts to get murky if they run off a bunch of wins.
They can't, though, is my point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So there's no point in sitting around rooting for them to lose because they're not good enough to run off a bunch of wins. They're not. You're so fixated on let's lose all these games as if they need any help doing that. They're going to be able to do that on their own. It's not a good enough football team. They just scored 12 points last night. 12 points. All four. This is back-to-back weeks.
Then we're saying the same thing then. You're not rooting for them. You just expect them to lose. I'm rooting for them to lose and expect them to lose. What's the difference?
Because what's the point of rooting for them to? Because you're saying if it comes, so you're saying.
So you're saying it's a feel-good story?
No. You're telling first off.
You're saying it's a feel-good story.
I'm over here rooting for them to win, which isn't happening. I'm not sitting here, and you're also telling me that I'm trying to create a culture of all that. I just want to see how they perform when it matters. Do I want it? So when that game comes down to that drive last night, are you rooting for the Bears to not convert that drive, to not turn that into points, to win the game? Are you sitting up there saying I don't want to see it? Minus the fact that you had money on the game.
If I don't have a Bears money line ticket in my pocket, I am absolutely rooting for them to lose.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what we learned from that. Because then it's just a completely wasted game. The one drive where we're actually asking him to do something, you don't want to see it work.
It's a
you don't want to see it work.
Newsflash, Nick.
You don't want to see it work.
It's a completely wasted season.
So you don't want to see it work. So then what are you about? What are you looking at? What are you learning from your quarterback then? What are you trying to see if you don't want to see it work? What are you trying to – you want to see them get down there and have them fumble again and be like, hey, got down to the one.
Yes.
How do you want that drive to end? You want to fumble.
You want me to be completely – you want me to be completely honest? If I could write the script, I would have Justin Fields go absolutely lights out and they get stuffed at the one. What? Okay, how about this? Give me 3 fucking reasons why I would want the Bears to win.
It's not about wanting the
best. Okay, so you can't name 3.
Wanting the best out of that moment, which matters
the best out of that. Oh my
God.
You guys are unfucking believable. The best out of that moment.
Problem with you is it's so extreme. It's either here or there. There's no like, okay, I see what you're saying in between. There's an in between.
No, the problem with Bears fans, period.
You've been rooting against the Bears for how long? So how long are we going to sit here and be like, man, I want to see them keep losing? How long are we going to sit here and do this?
Until we get it right.
It's where we've been at with the Bulls for the past 6 years.
I see what's going on.
No, but I'm just saying, how long?
All right, Nick.
How long are we going to be there?
I see. You're getting soft, Nick.
No, it's not getting
soft. You're getting
soft.
You want to just
say,
hey, man,
I have a quarterback.
I just want to get home after work.
Patchett was playing, I did not care. I told you that. I was clear on that. I did not care because I wasn't looking at anything that I cared about.
I just want to get home.
I need to see what happens.
I just want to get home after work and see my team compete a little bit, man. Get a win here and there, and I'll be happy about it. That's where you're at, Nick. I'm thinking about NFC championships. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about going to the playoffs and actually competing. Nick has fallen into the trap, the 9-7 trap, the 9-8 trap.
That's
oh my! I can't believe this.
Yep, that's
Everybody listening,
everybody
I
that's
need you
listening,
to.
that's exactly what I said.
I need you to DM
exactly
Nick and have him break the trance
that's
that
exactly
he's
what
in.
I said. Yep, that's what I said.
He wants to win games, so we could win 6 games.
No. In the moments where it matters, I want to see my quarterback perform. And if that means that we end up winning the game, I'm not going to sit there and feel like it's a failure. Period.
So then last night was the worst possible outcome. Then
what was that?
The quarterback didn't perform until outside the last throw, basically.
Yeah.
And we won the game. So that was the worst possible outcome.
I already told you how I felt about last night. There's nothing to take away. What are we taking away? You want to know honestly where we're at?
Because let's get to Justin Fields.
Let's get to Justin Fields.
Well, because let's talk about Justin Fields, because overall, it's not about big picture for you. You want to see us compete and do all this other shit. But talk to me about Justin Fields, because you laid out the turnovers. They were really bad turnovers. He got bailed out on the Vikings absolutely squandering the game. They had the ball at the 45-yard line, ran two halfback draws, and then a screen behind the line of scrimmage, had to punt instead of. Yeah, we talk about coaching malpractice.
Every
that
week.
was unbelievable.
It happens across the NFL. It's crazy some of the things that we see. We should do a whole episode on coaching malpractice, because it's just all over. Some of these guys that don't understand some of the clock management issues and different things. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, let's talk about Fields. Let's talk about those turnovers. Let's talk about overall, how did we evaluate him up to this point? If you want to take last night, it's not good. Again, I don't think they did. It clearly didn't do him any favors with the play call. And we're not excusing some of the things around him. But I think with Fields, and I think we were just talking about this before we got on, I want him to succeed so bad. And I feel so bad about the situation that they've put him in, that I often find myself making excuses for some of the things that I really shouldn't. And I find myself in a lot of Justin Fields conversations where I feel like I have to defend him. But sometimes it's really hard, man. And you look at a game like last night, and there's just a lot of moments where it's really difficult. The fact that he's such a good athlete allows him to escape some situations where he 1,000% should be getting sacked for holding on to the ball too long, right? A lot of times I saw him, he's running around back there, and when it's not there, you just got to go. You just got to go. You got to stop sitting back there and waiting for something to happen or thinking someone's going to get open. You're not Patrick Mahomes, right? And there are certain times I saw last night that I felt like he was holding on to it way too long, still looking downfield for something to happen, when he can just turn up and get 6 or 7 yards, worst case scenario, right? That's an issue. The fumbles in crucial situations, this seems to be a recurring issue, right? So we talk about, what do I want to see? I want to see what happens in crucial situations. And when you turn the ball over in those spots, especially fumbles, man, it's inexcusable, especially on back-to-back drives, right? You think after fumbling on one drive, the next drive, you are hypersensitive to fumbling the ball. You're covering it with both arms. You're doing everything you can to make sure that you don't lose it. And you do again. And there's a lot of near fumbles from him too. Again, I think his athleticism makes up for what I think are very, very, very sloppy mechanics at the quarterback position, which I think is surprising considering coming out. It's not like we thought Fields was a project, right? We thought that he was a pretty well-tuned quarterback. So yeah, man, there's still a lot. There's still a lot of things where he doesn't look comfortable out there. There's still a lot of things where he doesn't have a great command, right? It looks worse when you watch, for instance, CJ Stroud. I told you I watched that game start to finish on Sunday. When you watch a guy, we
can't even talk about CJ.
Yeah, but listen, but I'm just saying, when you watch your young quarterback and you're like, oh, this is our young guy versus our young guy, it's like it's like I'm watching two completely different ball games. Right. So it's
different leagues. Yeah.
It's different leagues. So it's just I don't know. When you put it up against that and even other young guys that are performing around the league, it's kind of man, yeah, it's been bad for Fields, but overall he's been bad, and he's been bad in big moments. There's flashes, we have flashes. There's things where if you could do this 20 or 30 times a game, we'd be great. but he doesn't consistently do them. So, I mean, it's like, do they not trust him? And is that why they're calling these plays? Or where are we? You know what I mean? Because I do think they're incompetent. Again, I'm not letting them off the hook by saying that. You got to try. But it doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good. And each
16,
week, I want it to look better, and it doesn't.
16 fumbles last year, 7 fumbles this year so far.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of fumbles. And he had 12 in his first year. Now, we talked about this being year 2
fumbles? Jeez.
For me, just because we know about the whole Nagy situation. But I'll say this. This is where I'm at on Justin Fields. I do find myself defending him a lot when I would crush a lot of other guys. That's partly because the fan base is divided. Let's be completely 100 here on No Catch Up. It's partly because he's black. We really want this guy to do well. That's 100%. And if we're really being honest, a lot of these arguments on Twitter are black versus white arguments.
100%.
The black folks are supporting Justin Fields through hell and high water. And there's a lot of white folks like, yo, this dude can't play.
See, Bajent Tyson.
Now, regardless of that, we're in an unprecedented situation where we're getting ready to have 2 top 5 picks potentially. For you to move off Justin Fields, you have to be confident Caleb Williams or Drake May are better than Justin Fields. I don't believe that's the case. That's my personal opinion. If you got Justin Fields, an actual offensive coach that knew what he was doing and could work with him and develop him, he's better than Caleb Williams or Drake May. That's why I believe we have to stick with Justin Fields at the moment. If there is not a better option than Justin Fields, you have to stay with Justin Fields. You need to package up the number 1 pick for someone that wants Caleb Williams so badly, they're going to give you 3 first-round picks for him or some ridiculous package. You have to move it. And then you have to pick the best player on the board with the other pick that you have. I would love to see us package the number 1 pick for a bunch of picks and then pick Marvin Harrison, fire the coach, get another coach, get an offensive coach, and then figure, oh my God. Number 18.
You did on the phone the other day. You did on the phone the other day when you called me too, talking about how he looked, and I was like, yeah, this is crazy. I was going to cut off the phone.
Yo, I'm just, excuse me.
We need to edit it, pick that out.
Number 18. Bro. Number 18. He said, what murder? He said, what murders? He's a murder. What murders?
Yeah, the Broad Street bully.
If you don't know what we're talking about, I apologize. I can't really explain it. Sure. Number 18 on Ohio State. I would love to be in a Chicago Bears jersey. Now, I think you have to go with Fields the rest of the – this is you know, also the other problem. Us laying out, you know, the support for Justin for many different reasons. I also don't know if he could play because no one can play without an offensive coach. That's it. The Getsy calling 3 screens in a row, multiple spots, and not pushing the ball downfield, not putting him under center and running any play action or bootleg, I really don't understand. Put him in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends on first down, run a play action bootleg. I guarantee you that shit would be opened up.
They ran so many screen passes. Yes, I'd never seen anything like that.
I've never seen anything like the amount of screen passes. I've never seen. I called Nick while we were watching the game. I said, yo, why do we live in shotgun?
Yeah.
We're in shotgun every fucking play on offense. Why? The offensive mind in Luke Getsy is not the guy. He's got to go. He needs a whole new offensive mind coach system. Now, also the problem with that is this will now be the 3rd offense in 3 rips. You need to go get a coach that believes in Justin Fields and will build him up because, in my opinion, I'm just a media guy. Caleb Williams and Drake May aren't better than Justin Fields with a good offensive mind and a different coach.
But doesn't that go against your whole philosophy of then now bringing in a new coach and having them inherit a quarterback?
Well,
so you're right back
now.
So yeah,
100%, it does. Yeah. And then that's partly on the Bears organization, and we know the situation we're in. Now, if you either need to decide whether if you're going to go get a new coach, it's the new coach's decision, for being honest. If you go get Ben Johnson from the Lions and he says Justin's not the guy, then I want Caleb Williams, then we have to pack up Justin Fields and let him go. That's the only way you move off Justin Fields is if you hire an offensive coach that you believe in, and I think that should be Ben Johnson. If Ben Johnson comes in, and this should be in the meeting when we're hiring a new coach. Hey, is Justin Fields your guy? No, he's not. Okay, then what's the plan with that situation? Are you going to draft Caleb Williams? What are you going to do? Rumor has it Ben Johnson wants to go work with Herbert out in LA.
Well, I was going to bring that up in a second, but yeah.
Okay, fine, fair enough. That's understandable. And there's a ton of weapons out there. I get it.
Yeah.
Now, I would tell you this. You know who could work with him regardless is Jim Harbaugh. He could come in and have that man looking a lot better and just have the organization running better. Is he going to come in? Who knows? I don't know. But I know Eberflus, Luke Getsy, and that staff need to pack the fuck up and get out of town. I don't want to hear it. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, on the coaching thing, here's kind of the issue, I think, with our coaching of the Ben Johnson or Harbaugh or any of these names out there. We are probably now going to be the third or fourth or fifth most attractive job out there, right? So you talk about listen.
I disagree with that if we got 2 top 5 picks.
But where do you want to go? 2 top 5 picks or 2 potential top 5 quarterbacks? Because that might be open. There will be an opening in upstate New York for the Buffalo Bills. So you can go coach Josh Allen.
You think so?
Yes. You have to fire that man if they don't make the playoffs. Are you serious? That team has been stuck in the same position for years now, and now they're going backwards. They probably will not make the playoffs this year. There'll be an opening there, and there'll be an opening in LA to go coach Justin Herbert. Both of those are far more attractive options than coaching the Chicago Bears with their perpetually fucked up quarterback situation that won't be solved when you get there, and you're going to have to develop a rookie, right? So if you're especially a Harbaugh, a guy who's coming out for success in Michigan, the last 3 years he's had Michigan as a top 4 program, right? Had success in San Francisco. He's not going to want to rebuild with the Bears. Everybody acts like this Bears nostalgia because he played quarterback for us in fucking 1988 is going to bring him back. Guess what? Most people that played quarterback for the Bears don't want to remember the experience because it wasn't good. He's going to go somewhere where there is a quarterback. You have 2 potential generational guys in Allen and Herbert that are going to need coaches. Of course you're going over there. Not to mention what if McVay decides to step away at the end of this year? What if Green Bay decides to do something? There's way more attractive jobs than the Chicago Bears out there that come with a quarterback. Trust me. So I think this Harbaugh and Ben Johnson we're going to have the pick of the litter when it comes to coaches is kind of delusional. It's very Bears fancy. Like, it's not happening that way. We're not going to get one of those guys. What you could hope for is we try to figure. I don't even know who the Texans offensive coordinator is. Maybe he wants to come over to town. Maybe you try to get like a Bieniemy if he's still a hot coaching candidate. I'm not sure. I don't know who it is. But if you think you're getting Harbaugh or Ben Johnson, if I'm those guys, I'm going where the quarterback already is.
Hey, man, you know what speaks louder than Justin Herbert?
Josh Allen.
You know what speaks louder than Josh Allen and Justin Herbert?
Bears don't spend
a big old bag of hundreds.
Yeah, well, the Bears are known for that, aren't they?
Well, yes, and that's true.
Clergy organization.
We may be fantasizing about that, but drop a whole big ass bag of money in front of Ben Johnson, and I bet you Josh Allen and Herbert don't look as good if he's making $2-3 more million a year in Chicago.
You know, it sounds great to a young guy like Ben Johnson. Sunny Southern California. Ask Lincoln Riley.
Not if he making $3 more million living in Lincoln Park.
They'll give him that money. No, they'll give him that,
you feel what I'm saying?
No, they'll give him that money.
Hey, and the taxes a little lower.
He's gonna be living in Manhattan Beach.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna tell you this, man.
Yeah, hey, Nick, I'm looking outside right now. You don't want to come here.
Hey, Nick, I want to talk about this too, man. Because I tweeted this out yesterday.
He said the Bears spending money. Crazy.
I want to talk about this because I talked about this yesterday.
Folks don't spend money.
Why is David Tepper getting so much heat for what he's doing in Carolina?
Making decisions. He didn't like what he saw. I kind of thought that too. Thought that too. Hey, we often criticize owners and organizations for not moving off of people. He clearly didn't like what he was seeing over there. He said, "Hey, look, man, I'm good. Frank, take your check. It's time to go."
What the fuck is the problem? I don't understand that. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I tweeted out.
It's crazy, yeah.
I tweeted out. I said, give me a David Tepper before a McCaskey or a Reinsdorf.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He said, I'll cut the check. Get out of Dodge.
Get the fuck up out of here. What are we doing? We look like the worst team in the world. Get your ass.
You're not ruining my quarterback for another week.
Out of here, bro.
And take McCown with you.
What's the problem? Oh, yeah. You want your boy McCown? Get his ass up out of here. Yeah, who else want to go?
Fuck out of here. I'm paying Matt Rule. I'll pay y'all too.
Gee, get your ass out of here.
Get up out of here.
I couldn't believe dude, David Tepper is the problem in Carolina. Are you out of your mind? He may be too involved. That's what it sounds like. But oh my gosh, I much rather have that guy than the owner that doesn't watch the games and doesn't care and just lets people hang around and just gives out all types of wild ass extensions for no reason.
The team has scored 170 points this year. You'd seen enough. It's supposed to be again. You're an offensive guy, and we have no offense.
Dude, what are we? I love that.
Yeah, I love it too. I never liked the hire to begin with. Didn't he get fired in Indy after going through 4 quarterbacks?
He's getting paid. Frank Reich is getting paid from Indy and now Carolina. He's doubled. He's owed like $65 million.
Walked home with a smile on his face.
I mean, can you believe that? The coaches. This coach game is crazy.
Said, "Honey, I got fired."
Yo, we're going on vacation.
What do you want to do? I got fired. I got 60 million in the bank. Let's fucking go. I don't care. I'll be on TV in a couple of weeks. Get another check.
Crazy, bro.
Get another check on TV. I'll be on Get Up on Tuesday.
He's gonna be someone's offensive coordinator next year. Triple dipping.
Another check. Where's it? Yeah.
I
don't feel bad for Frank Reich. I don't feel bad for Matt Rule. I don't feel bad for any of these guys. I won't feel bad for Matt Eberflus. He's going to get a bag. He probably got an extension last offseason.
Yeah, so give me David Tepper before 90% of these owners out here. David Tepper is no different than Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones not going for that shit. You're fired, bro.
Should have been.
Pack it up. They've been winning. Man, it's tough to fire dudes winning 10, 12 games, man. But yes, I get what you're saying.
It is when you watch the film. Don't let him get a 2-minute situation. Don't have 2 minutes on the Super Bowl. I'm live betting the opposition. That's an auto fire. That's an auto fire. The phone doesn't even ask me. It's just automatically plays. You get an Apple notification. Ding. I don't give a fuck who they're playing.
I don't understand the Tepper slander in that sense because, I much rather have a guy make decisions than stand pat and waste seasons away.
Back to what we were talking about before we move on. Is there a world, because I know this is unprecedented, right? But desperate times might call for desperate measures. Is there a world where you keep Fields and you all stick a quarterback high with that pick and you just kind of say fuck it?
You can't do that. You can't do that. Absolutely not. You're essentially signing up for pure turmoil in the building. Then you're not capitalizing on the draft capital that you could get to build up the rest of the team. Yo, the way this defense looks, Nick, please sign Jaylon Johnson. Yo, I understand the motherfucker can't catch, but no DBs in the league can really catch.
He's got cinder blocks for
Yo, hands. Sauce Gardner, all-pro for the Jets, cannot catch a lick. The key phrase is all-pro. Jaylon Johnson is good. Sign him. Kyler Gordon, good. Brisker, good. TJ Edwards, good. Tremaine, good.
Montez Sweat.
Sweat, good. Couple
Sweat.
guys overpaid, fine. The defense is not far away from being stellar. Add a couple more pieces in the trenches and then go get some skill guys. The Bears are not far away.
We got 2 top 5 picks, more pass rushers. You know how I feel. More rushers.
They'll get another,
more
another
rushers, more linemen, more big boys, more pass rushers, more linemen. Fix the left side of the line. Get a left tackle. Get a left tackle.
Yes, I'll say this, man.
That's top of the wish list. I don't care who your quarterback is.
You go get 18, pair him with DJ Moore. I still love Mooney as a 3. Cole Kmet at tight end. Go get another vet tight end.
I'm not the biggest wide receiver in the top 5 when you have a lot of question marks, guy. But yeah.
So then that means you should pack up both the picks then.
No, I'm taking just 2 other guys in the top 5. You already know where I'm at. I'm building. I'm taking an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman.
But do you see how much of an impact DJ Moore is making though by himself?
Yeah, but you have DJ Moore. That's fine. You get another receiver.
You need more than one guy, bro.
Well, I mean, how is 18 with the screen pass?
Chiefs
should hire until we start protecting.
Chiefs should hire you, put you in the front office.
No, I'm just saying we talk about the priority positions all the time.
You need weapons, bro.
Wide receivers number 5. That's cool.
You need weapons.
And you need protection, and you need people to put pressure on the quarterback.
That's why you pack up all those the number 1 pick, go get a bunch of picks to fill that out, and then take a generational.
Mike Tomlin 7-3 asked who's most important player. It's TJ Watt.
Nick,
that's his quarterback.
Nick, 18 comes from a family of killers.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, man, chill, bro. You too close. You close to Philly, bro.
18 pops.
Somebody could get on the turnpike.
18
turnpike handle business.
18 pops handle business.
It's tri-state.
I need Marvin.
Yeah, come see you at the Garden. Hey, is that motherfucker talking? Hey, you see some dudes with the freeway beard? You know what I'm talking about?
No mustache. No mustache.
With the Philly beard. And some fucking some Reebok trainers on. Chill, bro.
Man, it's all love, man. I got big love for that family, man.
Yeah, I hope so.
I got big love for that family, man.
Listen, bro, 88. Great receiver.
But we'll see. Let's get off some game balls real quick. DJ Moore, phenomenal performance last night. He was the game changer. He's the impact player. And we don't talk about his hands enough. He never drops anything. For as much NFL football as I watch, as many drops as I see consistently across the NFL, DJ Moore doesn't drop balls. So shout out DJ Moore, game ball for me. Who you like last night? TJ Edwards gets a game ball for me every week. That motherfucker is all over the place every play on defense. I love what TJ Edwards has done. Who you got for a game ball in that game? Is it Justin Fields bouncing back?
Nah.
It's not Santos. He bounced back too.
Nah, he missed that one early, man. I can't give it to Santos. Who do I got? I'll give it to Montez Sweat. 1.5 sacks.
Yeah, he was pressure
on. Yeah, that's why you pay a guy that kind of money. If he plays like that every week, it's worth the money. So I got Montez Sweat for sure.
That was the difference early.
The defense has played well since he's gotten there, if we want to be completely honest. The last 3 games, they played well. They forced a lot of pressure. This is a guy that consistently do this. Again, edge rushers matter. So, yeah.
As soon as that pressure let up, that's when Dobbs started going down. But the pressure early in the game was phenomenal. So, yeah, shout out Montez.
Tough Dobbs game. Very, very tough Dobbs game. It was a good story. But what goes up must come down. He's an astrophysicist. He understands this. It
was a bad game from Dobbs.
It's a really bad. Some of those picks were awful.
Yeah, it was a bad game from Dobbs.
It was a really bad game from Dobbs.
All right, we'll leave it there. We're back tomorrow. We're back tomorrow for the full week episode. We got lots to talk about in the NBA, NFL, Week 13. Bears are on a bye next week, so we got a week off, and we'll be back after that to break down NFL Week 14 to see how many W's these guys are actually gonna pull off. The remaining schedule for the Bears: home against the Lions, at Cleveland, versus at home against the Cardinals, at home against the Falcons, at Packers.
At home against the Cardinals is the Tank Bowl, Tankathon.
No, we're not tanking. We're not tanking. We have to hope that we lose.
We will be taking.
No, we talked about this already.
Taking
For
you
Big
on.
Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe everywhere, man. Tell a homie to tell a friend to tell another friend. Pass the link, share the post, holler at us, DM us. We're always accessible, man. Always love talking to y'all. Love when y'all shoot us a message and we get to talk shit back and forth. For Big Nick the Quick, Nick Harvey, I'm your host, Sean Little. No Catch Up Sports Talk Via Chicago. We'll see y'all next week. Or we'll see y'all tomorrow.